Hi guys, I almost forgot what to say. This is Saturday, November the 3rd, 2016, and it was sitting in a hole. Whoops, it still ain't right. Better. Anyway, November the 3rd, Saturday, scratch that, December the 3rd, Saturday, 2016, at 7:56 a.m. Early bird, right? This is the dark side of the moon today. The reason is all I've got is little 12-volt lights in my 26-foot RV that I live in Central Texas, USA. I've lived in RVs for 24 years, traveled all over the place. And if you travel in RVs or live in RVs and want to know about RVing, I have a playlist on my homepage for RVing, and or I go camping in a Toyota Prius too, a 2013 Package 2, a car, and you can check that playlist out if you go car camping, because it's a lot of fun and cheap, and that's all I do now. I don't pull my RV anymore because I'm too old. I'm 71 years old, live in Central Texas, USA. Anyway, I had some comments, and I thought I'd respond to one in particular because it's a pretty interesting one. It's cold here this morning, by the way. It's 48 degrees and rainy. Not heavy rain, just that light, miserable crap that you get in the winter sometimes, that drizzly stuff. That's what we've got today in Central Texas, and we're going to have it today, tomorrow, and Monday. And then the sun comes out and we're back to normal again, I guess you'd say that. This is an it, and I'm an it. This is Trenton Clump, that's red on the head, and I'm Rusty 78609. Why are they here? Because I tried a pet, didn't work for me. And now, but I have these presences to keep me company so that I don't get lonely. Even though I live alone, I'm not lonely. See what I mean? And I've got a trash can outside called Matilda and a cactus called Thorny. So I've got presences outside and inside, and of course I got me. And that's really what I need, is me. But anyway, I had a comment here, an interesting one, and I'll see if I can expand on it a little bit. It says, Rusty, I would be interested in the type of personality best suited for the road life full time. Some folks crash and burn. It's just not made for them. That's why there are so many RVs for sale. Share what attributes a full-time nomad should have. Example, alertness, ability to change a tire, be comfortable in one's own skin, able to preoccupy oneself, liking oneself, and so long. I think you hit them all right there. Okay, I think you hit a whole lot of them right there. So thanks, like your videos, da 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 da. It says like your videos, but they just increase my meds. Very cute, very funny. What a sense of humor. Type of personality best suited for RVing, full-timing in anything. You know, like living in a van, living in a car, living in a Class A, B, C, whatever, full-time on the road and traveling around. What type of personality do you need? I don't know if, again, that's a toughie, okay? That's kind of like stepping on a piece of ice, because every time you thought you hit it, it moved. And but the attributes you named, ability to, you kind of have to be a handyman type. That helps. It's kind of like if you went sailing in a sailboat, and you're out at sea and you have a problem with your sailboat, you have to be able to fix it yourself because there's nobody around. Well, you may run into some situations like that in an RV. You're not going to run into them often, but you could. Sometimes a hose will break, or you'll get a water leak here or there for whatever reason, who knows. And you need to be able to take care of those things. As far as flat tires, I call 1-800-COME-FIX, okay? I've got that road service thing, and I've used it a few times. I even have it on my car. And unless I'm just so far out in the boonies they can't get to me, I just sit patiently and wait till they get there, okay? But as far as other personality traits, being an independent loner type, you know what I mean? I think you hit on it. Being comfortable in one's skin, that's very true. You couldn't be a real wuss. You'd have to be You can't be scared of your shadow, and paranoid. If you're paranoid, that's not going to work. If you're a little paranoid, that's okay. A little paranoid will keep you alive, but a lot paranoid will have you at home in your closet covered with a bed sheet. Okay, so you're having a little wanderlust. Look back in your childhood and your past history and think to yourself, did I often want to go traveling and see what was over the hill or around the corner and stuff like that. If you had that kind of life interest as a younger person and growing up, you had that wanderlust, like I think I'd like to go there or there or there, or and whenever you're at home on the weekends, you find yourself taking short trips and stuff. That gives you an indicator. Now, I don't think you could just say that, yeah, this is the type of personality you have to have, because you may find that a lot of people start out RVing and are not very comfortable. And you might think that they're the type of person that would not do it. And then what happens is something snaps somewhere. They kind of break through the barriers, and then they love it. And they love it more than the people who have been out there for a while. I mean, there's all kind of individual cases that, again, it would be very hard to just give you a list and say, okay, that's it. There's 9 things or 6 things. I mean, you've heard that all your life in school and college and other places. There's 3 ways to be successful. Well, that's total shit, okay? Or there's 4 ways to be healthy. Crap. Or there's 10 things you need to eat to be healthy. That is total crap. You know what I mean? Those are just numbers. There's probably a million things you could do to be successful. There's probably a million things you could eat, a million things you could do. So, and there's probably a million ways to be very successful and enjoy yourself traveling full time in an RV. What I would suggest to anybody that is considering going full time RVing and does not own an RV, but is just, looking at the dream, so to speak, watching the YouTube videos of all these happy campers with the beautiful sunsets and sunrises and the snow on the mountains. Well, that's not quite the way it is, because you open the door and walk outside, and guess who's there waiting to greet you? The insects. You're at Walmart. You just walked outside. You got everything they want. Okay, and they're fixing to get it one piece at a time. Doesn't happen often, but it happens. Sometimes insects can drive you right back inside. It's done it to me a few times. Climate. You go to a place that is great in the summer. Like you get up in the elevation, sometimes 7,000 feet or so, 8,000 at Red River, 8,500 at Red River, New Mexico. And what you'll find is, yep, it's cool. But if you're subject to any elevation problems, like maybe you get dizziness, some people get headaches and other things. So there you are. The temperature is perfect, but you're totally miserable. So, those are the things you really run into RVing, or you go into places that on the map look good, and you get there and the campground is so crowded that it's miserable. I mean, there's kids running around, there's noise, you're not there for that, or at least I'm not. And then sometimes you can go boondocking, and it's wonderful out there in the middle of nowhere by yourself, because you got you get out and look around and do a 360. There's not a soul around. You think, man, I own the world. Well, you do, all of it, and it owns you too. Because you got to figure, of course, if you got your travel trailer or motorhome out there, you're okay. You got to poo-poo and shower and stuff for a while, but you're on your own. You know what I mean? You're out there. And sometimes you're not going to have cell phone service for you millennials that are addicted to that crap. And I'm getting there. I'm getting addicted to it. But, no cell phone service for some people makes them a little paranoid. And it's starting to get in my head. I have to tell you, I like camping where there is good cell phone service, because, you can do a lot of things. If you're, you get up in the morning, go do your walk and your exercise and stuff. You can come back and check your email and check news and shit. Not that you need to. I mean, nobody ever sends me an email hardly anyway. But you just feel connected and safe when you have a cell phone access. That's it. It's kind of right in here, because I traveled for many years with no cell phone at all. None. Zero. and you know, traveled all over the U.S. So, but now I do like it, you know. So that's another thing. But traveling in an RV requires what? Nothing. It requires you and an RV, and after that, you're on your own. Okay, you know, it's like you know, what are the ingredients to make pancakes? You know, there's like three or four, whatever they happen to be. You probably make them 1,000 different ways. You know what I mean? And you know, so what are the ingredients that make a good full-time RVer? Varies. You know, it depends on what this RVer wants to do. You know, some people are going to go live on the road. Some people are going to go for a few days. Some people are going to go for a few weeks. Some people are going to go for a few months at a time. And some people are just going to go whenever the hell they want to, like me. Now, I mean, I got a home base with a 26-foot RV on it. I got a Toyota Prius. And right now I go camping in the car. I go just whenever the hell I want to. Like I was going to go out to Quartzsite and I was going to be there now, but I'm not because the cold weather kind of reached down into New Mexico, a place I had to cross to get there. And, you know, I didn't feel like I wanted to wake up in the morning at 19 degrees. I just didn't. I've done that before and I don't like it. So having said all that, Mr. Commenter, I hope that answers some of the question, or at least confuses you a lot more than you were confused before you asked the question. See, my job, you know, if you want to find out where something is, calculatus eliminatus. Find out where it ain't. That's Dr. Seuss. He wrote that back in the 70s, I think. You know, if you want to find out where something is, you got to find out where it ain't. It's real simple. You know, so if you think you might enjoy full-time RVing, there's only one way to really find out. Well, now, a cheap way to do it, to find out, in my opinion, you may not want to fool with it, but would it be to either, quote, borrow an RV or rent an RV and go for a week? Go for a week somewhere and or to two or three different places in that week and see what you think, because it ain't going to get any better. You know, if you've been in an RV for a week, and you've hooked up, unhooked, drained your tanks, you know, got your stuff organized so you can move to the next site. You know, you've done the jacks and then you've done the full hookup and done all the crap, and you've towed it down the highway if it's a travel trailer or a fifth wheel. You've got it. You've got the feel for it. You know what you're going to be faced with, because it's going to be that way day after day after day after day after day after day after day. Now, in a motorhome or a class C, I mean a class A, B, or C, it's a little different. You know, you're driving your thing down the highway. The only difference is your gas mileage is bad. Well, it's bad when you're pulling an RV too. So that's the way that is. But you know, and you know, you rent a motorhome if you're thinking about doing that. Rent you a class A, B, or C, whatever they got, and go do it. Because you may find that you don't like driving that school bus down the highway, because when you pull in to get gas, you may be there for a week. Somebody blocks you in, or the driveways are like this, and you drug your bumper going in, and you know you're going to drag going out unless you go at an angle. Always remember that. You know, if you go at an angle to those slopes, it helps. Okay? But, and also pulling an RV, same thing. That's why, you know, I suggested earlier, you know, to a fella that, you know, he thinking about starting out and wanted to know what I would recommend. What I would recommend, what I would do for me right now, I'm single, age 71, and I was just starting from a blank slate. I'd get me a 13-foot or to 16-foot travel trailer with a medium-sized V8 pickup to pull it with. In other words, overpower the vehicle, okay, to pull it. So you've got plenty of power, and you cruise down the highway pulling that 13 to 16 foot, you may be getting 12, 13, 14 miles to the gallon if you're lucky. And that's pretty damn good for RVing. I guarantee you, you're not going to find many units that get better than that. So, you know, that's just my perspective. And, you know, again, something that people do whenever it's something new, I know I do it myself, I'm guilty too, is I overthink it. I overthink it. In other words, I create situations that may or may not exist in my mind, okay? So the best way to do it, to get rid of all the crap, because you'll create stuff that doesn't exist thinking about RVing, or what about this, or what if that, what if. Well, you'll what if yourself right into not doing anything the rest of your life. You'll go put yourself in a closet and cover yourself with a bed sheet and be safe. But having said all that, this grinning thing here says bye. This staring thing's red on the head says bye. And I say, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy USA made when you can. and take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose. Deep, deep, deep. And then out through your mouth. That's the way to do it right, because that gets the oxygen way down in there, and that's where you want it. And then, stretch, walk around, feel good. Enjoy your life. Anyway, thumbs up, babe. Enjoy your day. It's Saturday. Good Saturday to you. And Christmas is coming. The lights are on the tree. You don't want to hear the rest of that. Bye.